All right. I'm going to discuss a little bit of 2 tonight. Next week we will cover 3, 4, and 5 of lecture, and then 5 will be due in the following week, I believe, right? I put it on the 15th, is that right? So next week and the week after I'll cover 3, 4, and 5. Tonight I want to go over 2 with you, just so you can kind of understand the summary routes, the default routes, before we start getting into the dynamic routing. Okay, so just bear with me. First things first, it says we're going to use the address space of 10, 10, 16, 0, right? Which it did. It's got all these 10, 10, 16 zeros. For 2 LANs on the equal side, correct? Assign the first subnet to PC1 and the second to PC2. Now remember, when I say that we're talking about this same size, equal size, right? If we're doing a /23, what is that? That means we're 1 up from a 24, right? So if I have a 10, 10, 16, 0 network /23, with this being my network address, what does 23 mean? I'm going by increments by 1, right? Gotcha. We're going by 2s. So what is my next official network, right? 18. So if I said I need to break this 16 to 17.255, right? Because that would be my network. We're going by 2s. Into 2 equal components, what's the easiest way to do it? Now I have 2 equal components of both 256 hosts by making them a classful where we're going by 1s. Does everyone following me? Marlene, you okay?
Oh yeah, I was at first I was thinking 1 would be 16, the other would be 18.
No, this will be 16.
Yeah.
And since we're on the 16 network, actually I should do it like that. We're on the 16 network, we've got to do it by 2s, right? So this is going to be my 17.0. So if I'm going to do, what does it say? Assign the first subnet to PC1, which we did, second one to PC2. Now we're going to configure the IPv4 default route. Well, I'm sorry. Before we do that, you need to know what the IPs were, right? For if I'm coming off of router 2 going to this one, what am I going to be? I was going to be 16.1 or 17.1 coming off that gigabit interface back through my switches, right? Now, if I was at 23, I'm at XX254, right? But since I added that other bit to make it go by 1s, my subnet mask is XXX0, correct? Everyone's with me. Okay, now we need to define what our PCs are. When it says in there that we needed to use, in there it specifically said that we needed to give the PC the highest usable host on that subnet, correct? So what am I going to be here?
254.
Got it? Got my lowest, got my highest. Pretty simple. Y'all are familiar with the IPv4. Now let's throw you for a loop when we're talking about this subnet. Okay. Well, if I need to break this into 2, which it's already broken into 2, how do you know? You have an A and you have a B. Remember, the difference between A and B is what? 1. Does that make sense? So if I was making this a default, what would I do?
Just be A around blank.
Because you're adding a second one in, you got to go back to the left. If you add it to make it 2, you're borrowing 1 bit to the left. Right? Remember, if I have my 10, or, I'm sorry, XX254, right? And I had an XXX. Both of these being 0, 0, so they don't really matter. And this goes by what? 2s. This goes by 1s. That A and that B are ones. If I need to go back one, all I'm doing is eliminating these. Actually, I would still keep the A, but I would be at 63. So my next network here would be C. Does that make sense? The next network would be the C. I know hex throws everyone for a loop. But think of it in the same terms. You're just adding by 2 or you're adding by 4. Or you're doing the same type of subnetting you are on here that you are up here. It just has hexadecimal. So explaining that out, now that we understand what our stuff is, what is going to be my default gateway for this one? You want to explain it, Marlon? The reason being, your gateway is the point at which you go into the router. The interface that you reach that router that can push off from there. This is my gateway to the rest of the network. Is everyone okay with that? Pretty cool? So, with that being said, what is my default route for an IPv4 address? It's IP route 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 out my exit interface or my next hop. Either or. So it specifically asks you what is the default route for IPv4 on router 2. So, what am I going out?
S0/0/0/0.
000 001.
000.
Okay. So this is the 4, right? What about my 6? The only difference is IPv6 route. Right? What's my default route for an IPv6? :/0. So I have a : :/0. What interface am I going out? I'm going to go out serial 001. Okay? Everyone with me? I'm sorry, that's your second set. Okay. Sorry, let me fix this one. This was on router 2. This one's on router 3. Okay? Just to get you where we're at. Now we have 2 that are on router 1. Okay? We know, and it's asking for the default route off of router 1. Okay? So what do we have? We have IP route. Right?
Yeah.
And it's IPv4. So.
The same thing. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Out what?
Serial 0.
after 0, 0, 0, right? Because that's what it called for. This one
On that
is
one?
0, 0, 0, 0.
It's like,
Going out 2.
yeah.
That's 0, 0, 0, that's 0, 0, 1.
I put it on the R2 and the R3. I didn't know what
You could do it with the next top if you wanted to. Okay? Now, what about the IPv6 route? It's going to be the same thing.
And it works that out.
Is that what it says?
Yep.
Everyone with me on that, right? And this one is actually 0, 0, 0. Because you're on router 3. Because you're going out serial 0, 0, 0 to go out, 0, 0, 0, 0 to go out. On router 1, you're coming back. So that's why you have the two different serials. Okay. Now, on router 1, we need a summary route to reach all R2 lands. Very easy to do. Okay, here's the trick. What was my network here?
16 and 17.
It was
16.
16, right?
Yeah.
10, 10,
16.
16, 0. Now, if I'm using both of those, what is going to be my mask?
The 255.
255, 255, 254.0. That mask tells it we're going by twos. So everything between 16 and 17.255 are going to be on this route. Does that make sense? Now it's saying, where are we going from? Well, if we're coming out of here, going up here, we're going out that port, right? Congratulations. That is a summary route. You're summarizing the networks that you're going to by the highest usable network. Everyone with me? Shake your hands in agreement or side to side no if you do not understand me. You do not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Huh?
Is it right there? Agree with
That was from Rush Hour, wasn't it?
Yep.
Good reference. All right. IPv6 route. What did I say we were going to do? 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon A colon /63. Again, because now we're adding both of these, we got to go from A to C, right? Well, A to C minus 1. So you got to go back one bit to make it 2 networks. So basically you're saying the same thing as the 1010 254 or the 255 255 254 0 network, okay?
You made it so much easier than what the broker's doing.
Then what port are we going out?
0, 1, 0.
Congratulations, that's packet tracer 2.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sitting there doing the hexadecimal and binary and binary and all that, yeah.
Just think of it. All it really is you're looking at the last number visible,
Yeah.
okay?
Makes sense, yeah.
Once you get that down, IPv6 is easy. Are there any questions, any concerns, gripes, moans, complaints about this? Going once? Going twice? I know I'm a little goofy tonight. I'm on a sugar high. I ate about 6 packages of Skittles and stuff before I came up here. Yes, Marlon.
Well, I got one real quick. Now, I was doing it the way she said, but your way is because I'm going a different network, I'm taking one bit. I don't have to go through
Okay.
all that convert to X.
No, think about this.
Binary.
No, just think of it. Think of it like you're doing IPv4. Okay? How many networks are going to be in that route? So you need two networks, right? If 64, which is your full network address space for IPv6, if I needed to do 2, you go 1 back. If I needed to do 4, I go 2 back. So if I had C and D down here, and coming off to a couple switches here, right? What would it be then? 62. Exactly.
Wow.
How hard is that? Casey, you look so upset now.
Yes.
You're like, my goodness, he made this so simple. It's not that difficult.
The hexadecimal, binary, the bits, all that.
Counting, I even explained to you what all I was doing. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
And you notice I didn't answer you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I said, we'll do it in class.
But I tried to take it. I was like,
Does that make y'all feel... No, I can't say that.
well,
Less than adequate?
Yeah.
but I can't say, at least I understand. Like, first when I started this, I was looking at it. It wouldn't make any sense.
Okay, how many of y'all got 100 on us?
I did try to turn that one in.
How you better.
Yeah, I turned it into the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it in, but yeah, no.
So just ignore the comment on the assignment before.
Ignore that.
Josh, just for you, I'm going to grade the first one that is turned in.
Okay, good. I turned in the right one, and then I turned in the other one from the other assignment, and I was like, I turned this in here because the other one was closed.
Well, I'm giving you a 0 for that one because that one's closed.
Oh.
Is there anything else you want me to cover on this? Do y'all understand the difference now between a default route and a summary route? What is a default route? It's all zeros. I want everything to go out this one port. That's all it's saying. Where a default route is how many networks am I putting in this one route? Remember when we were looking at the routing tables,
Why are you kind of stuck on the PCs? Because I was like,
screw the PCs. Okay, when you had your in the routing table, it'll say like 192.168.1 or 00/20. That means those next 16 networks are all underneath that one. So you go off that port to get to those 16 networks. And then it lists it with them all tabbed in, and it says dot 1.0, dot 2.0, dot 3.0, dot 4.0, so forth, so on. And then they'll show underneath it, but they have that one that's up and tabbed over, if you're looking at the tab to the left. And it shows you every IP address that's underneath it that it's going out this one port. That's all it is. Now is this scaring you?
Well, I mean the final, but yeah.
I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible for you. Smile at me again, Josh.
I can't help it. It's my natural reaction.
Is there any questions on concerns, gripes, amongst complaints? Yes, Marlon.
Oh, no, you signed it.
Do what?
You pass around.
It's right here.
I'm good.
Y'all all good now? You have until Saturday to resubmit this and get 100 on it.
I got stuck on the PCs because I was like, oh, I can't configure it. And I realized
But that's not until then.
like, oh, tell you.
I'm not going to go there.
Mind blown right